Hey everyone, Nate here, Hill and Ponton's video guy, and today we're going to talk about diabetes. Before we hop into it, make sure you hit that subscribe button, give us a wonderful thumbs up, and share with anyone you think might need to know this information. Today, I'm joined with attorney Shannon. How you doing?
I'm great, thanks.
Good. So, diabetes. What are we looking at when it comes to getting service connected for diabetes? What are the medical requirements?
You have to have a diagnosis, and that's the main thing. That can be difficult because a lot of veterans, their doctors will say you're diabetic, but you don't necessarily meet the numbers that VA is looking for, what they consider diabetic. So you do kind of have to make sure that that's a solid diagnosis, and sometimes they will disagree with you, and you might have to go back to your doctor and talk about that. But to get it service connected, you need the diagnosis and you need something in service that caused it. In our cases, it's toxic exposure or herbicide exposure.
And so when you say meeting the numbers, do you know what the difference between what getting diagnosed with and what the VA is looking for?
Off the top of my head, I don't, but it's
Okay.
blood sugar. It's the blood sugar
Gotcha.
glucose numbers.
So then with that, what are the different levels of service connection for diabetes?
If it's completely controlled by your diet, it's a 10% rating. In order to move up to a 20, and most of the veterans I see are a 20, to be honest. To move up to a 20, you need to be taking medication for it to control the diabetes. It can be insulin or it can be another medication that's designed to control your blood sugar. In order to move up to the 40% rating, in addition to the insulin, and it's got to be insulin for 40%, not just any medication, and restricted diet, you also have to have restricted activities. So it would be something where your doctor has said to you, you can't do these things due to your diabetes. You have to be careful about doing these activities. And it's important to get your doctor to write that down in your medical records in order to get that higher rating.
And 40% is the maximum rating for diabetes?
It's not actually. So you can go up to 60 if you're getting a daily injection of insulin and you have the restricted diet and you have the regulation of activities. But then on top of that, you need to be hospitalized twice a year for these conditions or seeing a specialist twice a month. So you're looking for things like ketoacidosis, or you're looking for a hypoglycemic reaction that's putting you in the hospital or requiring to see your specialist. You can even go up to 100% for diabetes. But in addition to all those things I've already listed, the regulated activities and the hospitalization, you would also have to be seeing something like some severe residuals, like you're losing weight, things like that. It's a pretty severe condition. I've never actually had a veteran who had 100% disability for diabetes, but it is there. Regulation of activities seems to be very difficult to get in the record. The doctors don't seem to put that down. They might tell you, oh, you need to be careful about this, but they don't write it down. And that makes it really difficult to get the rating. So get your doctors to put it in the records.
When it comes to diabetes, is it direct service or secondary service connected?
It can be both. Diabetes can be caused by other things, and it's difficult because a lot of times you're going to see the same conditions: heart, diabetes, metabolic syndrome, and it's hard to know what causes what. But there are conditions that cause diabetes, and so you definitely can get them secondary, but it also can be, again, toxic exposure or exposure to herbicides that can cause direct service connection.
And then with diabetes, there's other things that you can get kind of connected to it.
Absolutely, and they're very common. So with diabetes, you always look for neuropathy. One of the most common residuals of diabetes is peripheral neuropathy, and it can be in your hands and it can be in your feet. And you get a separate rating for each of those. So if you have neuropathy in both feet and both hands, you're going to have 4 separate ratings in addition to the diabetes, and it's rated by how severe it is. So you're looking at numbness and tingling or pain in your extremities. You will often find a lot of times diabetes and kidney goes hand in hand. So with diabetes, we're looking at chronic kidney disease and whether there's a connection there. In addition to that, retinopathy, glaucoma can also be related to diabetes. So ask your doctor when you go in, is this related to my diabetes? Have them put it in your medical records.
I've noticed with a lot of these videos that a lot of the diagnosis that people get are not island diagnosis. It's not you have this one thing and that's it. It's usually you have this one thing and this is also causing this thing and causing this thing and causing this thing, which is something that I think is highlighted very much in this video of you have diabetes, but you also could have peripheral neuropathy, you could have kidney, heart, like all these other things could be caused by it. So in watching these videos, make sure that you understand that what you're diagnosed with, you can usually connect to other things.
Absolutely. And in addition to that, the medications that you take for different conditions can cause secondary conditions. If you have a service connected disability, always be talking to your doctor when something else is diagnosed. Ask them, is this related to what I already have, and get it in the record.
I like that. Well, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So if you guys have any further questions, drop them in the comments below and we will get a short made to answer that question as soon as we can. Other than that, you can click the link in the description to read more. As always, thank you for watching and thank you for your service.